If you are not yet a member of the Patreon, link is in the description. Please consider becoming a member, as you will have access to many videos you cannot find here on YouTube. So most of you, like me, probably not only grew up watching The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but you probably have that in your top 3 of greatest sitcom or shows of all time. I definitely do. That, I got The Martin Show, and then the third one is like a toss-up between a few other different shows. And I love the show. I think that Will Smith is extremely talented. I think he's put out a lot of incredible movies. I think he's an incredible actor. But I also think Will Smith is a Freemason. And I do believe that he's an actor in real life as well. And I believe I'm going to prove that in this video. If you all grew up watching that show, I'm about to ruin it for you. I'm just letting you know that now. I originally was just going to expose the show in itself, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the people who created it, the intro to the show, all the symbolism you all may have missed. But I realized, I said, I haven't spent as much time on the show or this YouTube channel talking about symbolism and numerology. And as I've shared before, if I get too deep into that, for a lot of you all who are newer to the show, it could turn you off. So I may need to drive home the point and show you all and prove to you all who Will Smith is, his upcoming in the music industry, Hollywood, the suspicions surrounding his career, and why I believe some of the things that I believe about him. I'm going to show you a snippet from the Will Smith video I did like 3.5 years ago. So the audio is going to be a little bit different, but the substance is still the same. I'm going to show you just a snippet from that. I'm going to include the link in the description to the original video from 3.5 years ago so that you can go and check that out, because it's going to be very important for you to understand not only Will Smith, but the Smith family in totality, to better understand and grasp some of the things we're going to talk about when it comes to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air music video or trailer that everybody always raps. Because if you just watch it by itself, you're going to say, man, you reaching, bro, none of this means that, and I don't believe you. But if you see the first part first, it's going to make more sense. So without further ado, hit the like button if you don't mind for the algorithm, and so that this video can reach more people like yourself. I would really, really appreciate it. Without further ado, I'm going to first show you the clip, and then we're going to hop into the show.
But what if I told you that it was more than just hard work that catapulted their music career? What if I told you that there have been several red flags surrounding the story of how Will Smith became rich, famous, and successful? While I don't claim to know all the exact details as to how he did it, what I can tell you is that there has always seemed to be dark and sinister agendas attached to his career that isn't just a coincidence. Many people don't even know that at the very beginning of his career, Will Smith actually underpaid his income taxes in 1988 and 1989, which led to the IRS assessing a $2.8 million tax debt against him. It is said that this is when Will decided to sign with NBC Television Network in 1990 to be the lead in a new sitcom, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which was an instant hit. This is how it is said that Will Smith's acting career began. The problem is, this just doesn't make any sense at all. Think about it. First of all, there are many talented artists in Philadelphia, let alone the world. How did Will Smith manage to not only stand out from all of them before he was even out of high school, but also get a record deal and eventually win 2 Grammy Awards? There are many legendary artists that never even won a Grammy, but it is expected for us to believe that Will Smith and a guy he met at a random party just happened to win a Grammy within just 4 years of signing to a record label. Is it possible? Well, I mean, yes, of course, but is it likely? I'm afraid not. Here in the video, for parents just to understand, you can clearly see many Masonic and occultic signs in the background. That includes an inverted cross, the skull and bones that I covered in the video about NWA as well, by the way, the all-seeing eye, a pentagram, and even a little devil. Just a coincidence? The second red flag is that the story goes that Will actually did not want to act or have his own television show, and the only reason he decided to accept the role of Fresh Prince was because of the money he owed to the IRS. What made Will, someone with no acting experience at all, worthy of starring in a sitcom? Because he was good at making music? How many people you know not only get signed to a record deal basically out of nowhere, but is also offered to star in a sitcom, a hit sitcom by the way, on national television? Is it just me, or does this not sound odd? I have not yet made a video covering the topic, but I will be making a video in the future about MK Ultra and how prevalent it is in Hollywood. Almost everyone you see in Hollywood has either been under some sort of MK Ultra programming, or either they're a handler, Well, one thing I will cover is that something you will find very common in Hollywood is how a lot of actors, actresses, and musicians either come from an immediate family that's in the military or their family is connected to the military somehow. Why is this important? Because it is very well known in public knowledge that the CIA and military have conducted MK Ultra on people before in the past, and they still do it today as well. And yes, as I stated before, Will's dad was in the Air Force. Even Will's movies show allegiance to something far greater than what meets the eye. In just his third film, Will stars in a film called, of all things, 6 Degrees of Separation. And interesting enough, the film is about an affluent New York City couple who finds their lives touched, intruded upon, and compelled by a mysterious young black man who is never quite who he says he is. Is this just a coincidence? Will Smith is not who many people believe he is. And the synopsis of the film almost reminds me of the Will, Jada, and August Alsina entanglement, right? Think about it. August was the mysterious young black man who intruded upon the Smith family that caused that huge debacle some years ago. You know, the quote-unquote entanglement. Which, by the way, that entire situation was contrived as well. August Alsina is a sorcerer and a Luciferian, just for what it's worth. Allegedly. I am under the belief that Will Smith, who is talented and has made some great songs and some great films over the years, undoubtedly, did not obtain his success solely based off talent alone. I believe, personally, he is a Freemason and has been connected to the right people and is quote-unquote in the know. Make no mistake, Will Smith is a warlock, a Luciferian, a sorcerer of the highest degree, and his wife Jada is a sorceress of the highest degree as well. That brings me to the Smith family. Earlier I spoke about, MK Ultra. Both of Will's children, Jada and Willow, in my opinion, appears to be victims of it as well.
Alright, so you've seen that, you heard that. Now let's play a game. We're going to go over and react to the trailer or the music video that leads into the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air show. And together, we're going to point out all the suspicious symbolism throughout the intro that we may have overlooked, and I know for a fact most of us overlooked as children. And together we're just going to decide, what could this symbolism mean? Why did they put that there? Who decided to put that there? What was the purpose? Because this is Hollywood, so everything is intentional. They're not mistakenly just putting things up there just to put it. It was a reason why they did it. And I'm going to show you when you remove the music. So we all know it. In West Philadelphia, in Boulder Rays, on the playground when I spend most of my days, chilling, relaxing, when a couple of guys were up to no good, started making trouble in the neighborhood. We all know the music. Let's take the music away. Let's just take the music away. And let's see, because it pulls at our heartstrings. But when we take the music away and we could just watch and focus, we're able to pay attention to things. We're able to think straight. I saw an interrogation just the other day, and a new tactic that police officers are using in interrogations is that they play music. When they leave out the room, to leave the suspect in there thinking, they play music nonstop. Suspects have even went out their way to say, hey man, do you mind stopping the music? They're like, nah, we're playing it for a reason.
Sorry, you'll be charged with accessory to murder.
Accessory to murder?
Yes, sir.
Turn that off. I'm gonna make my prayer.
Okay.
Turn the music off.
Yes, sir.
We got it on for a reason.
Allahu Akbar.
They're playing it so that you can't think straight. You can't focus on what you need to focus on. Well, we're not going to do that today. Let's remove the music. Let's focus on the symbolism. Boom. In my opinion, I believe that this is the 666 sign that he's throwing up right here. Boom. I believe that this right here is the number 13. You're going to say, no, that's the B, because this chair is going to spell out the word Bel Air. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Why did they draw it like that? Because that's really subliminally supposed to represent two different things, the letter B, but it's also supposed to represent the number 13 that we can all clearly see. Well, let's look right under the letter B. That is clearly the number 6. That is the number 6 sitting there. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. We're gonna come back to that name, Fresh. Boom. So let's go back a little bit. Maybe we're going to have another opportunity. I don't think that we are. So let's just go back a little bit. Boom. So we got the letter G right here. G for Freemasonry. We got, once again, the number 13. They just have it backwards here. We got an upside down cross up here. I almost forgot about that. So you got the upside down cross right there. Bingo. Now, it's going to make sense later in the video, but this right here, I believe, and you're going to understand better later in the video, I believe that this is a transgender. This just looks kind of funny to be a woman. I don't know too many women that are shaped like that. That's a weird shape for a woman, and they kind of look kind of muscular to me. And later in the video, you're going to make sense of why. You got this right here. You can say that this is G, once again, for Freemasonry, right, with the compass in the middle of the compass. Or you can say that this is 3 6s. You got the 6 upright and 2 6s upside down right here. This right here is supposed to represent what they call the snake on the path. This is really big in Hermeticism, right? That's really big in Hermeticism. This right here could be representing sacrifice. Now, again, a lot of y'all are going to say this is a reach. I respect that. But again, watch it all the way through. This right here, once again, the number 13. Right beside the upside down cross, you got the number 13. You're going to have to just turn your head to see it. And by the way, 13 is supposed to represent in Freemasonry loyalty, brotherhood, enlightenment, completion of higher knowledge. Once again. Now, this right here is 2 F's. F is the 6th letter in the alphabet. So he's spray painting 2 6s right here, right? So if you would ask me, he was going to be working on a 3rd one. Now, this is the very thing that he's spray painting on, so it's not as if it's not even significant. Why would he be spray painting the letters F? What does 2 F's mean? You got the number 11 right here. 11 is really big in Freemasonry. It also represents the twin pillars in Freemasonry, right? And 11 means the stage of preparation and transition, right? You are in the stage of a transitioning phase in life or through Freemasonry in your craft. It's a lot of symbolism, y'all, so I'm just taking my time here. I don't want to mess this up. I don't want to forget anything. You all may end up catching something that I don't catch. James Avery, by the way, for those of you who don't know, which, by the way, this guy right here, this cop, reminds me a lot of the other show. What is it? Family Matters. The police officer that was in there, which I believe was a gay man in real life, if I'm not mistaken. And forgive me if I'm getting it wrong. But I believe I saw somewhere where he was married to another man who was dating another man or something, which was very shocking to me. Which a lot of you all may be shocked to hear or may have known this for a while. I've made a video about this in the past, but James Avery is the guy who plays Will Smith's father in the show Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He's actually not only a gay man in real life, which was a shock to me. It's not the end of the world. It's cool. Like, all right, you're a gay man. But he was not only a gay man, but he was a very, very flamboyant gay man. So in other words, he was the polar opposite in real life. So much, in fact, that Godfrey, who is as progressive as they get, and in my opinion, as anti-Christian as they get, even made a video himself saying how shocked he was when he met James Avery. He wasn't anything like what he thought. And everybody else around him acted normal because they had been seeing it in Hollywood for the longest. Like, yeah, that's James Avery. He said, man, based on the way he acted on the television show, I wouldn't have known that he would have been that feminine in person. Just a fun fact.
And I'm saying that James Avery, he was gay as hell. James Avery from The Fresh Prince, gay as hell. Well, I was describing a situation when coming up in Chicago, I was doing the Gospel Awards. The Gospel Awards, I was audience coordinator, and I had seen James Avery. I was talking about that story. I used the phrase, oh yeah, he was usually gay as hell, and I saw all the backlash. I didn't really look at all the comments because, when you look at comments and you start arguing with people, I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hold myself accountable. And to say that was distasteful the way I said that.
All right. Now, can anybody explain to me who actually hoop? I hoop. I play basketball in real life. And I've been doing it since middle school. Name one man who plays basketball. I don't know gay men that play basketball like that. Look at Jazzy Jeff. Why would you post up on another man like that? You all are going to think that I'm reaching with this. I'm not. Who posts up like that, bro? That's not even how you post up for a lane. You're supposed to assume the position, have some sort of firm position. He's all flamboyant and loose, hands in the air. That's weird, bro, and it's also intentional. All right. Twirls around, throws the basketball. Basketball bounces off the goal, hits the stereotypical thugs. Now they're upset. They come over and they surround him. Now, this is weird as well because, once again, why are you surrounding him? That's not even how fights go. That's not even what it's like when you get jumped. They don't just stand around you like that. They just come at you from all different angles and they fight, or from the same angle, and they fight you. But instead, they come around him in a circle, which is, I think, all of this is symbolic. And, you know, you got the black and white floor that they're standing on, and they pass him around. You got a group of men passing him around, which could be symbolic to passing him around the industry, and then they twirl him around. Everything I say in this video is alleged, by the way. Boom. Now, this is where the good stuff begins, because there's so much symbolism here. Okay, you got, right here, you got 69 for as above, so below. As above, so below. We talked about this in the Colin Kaepernick video. We talked about this in the Shannon Sharp video on Patreon. You got the upside down pentagram right here, right? You got this word that I guess supposed to spell out T, but look how they spelled it out. They spelled it out in a way in which you have 3 6s. Once again, one of them is kind of upright. The other 2 are upside down, just like the other imagery. What does this say right here? Chaos. Chaos. Just like in the Colin Kaepernick video. I believe that he's an agent out of chaos. Look at this woman's, this is supposed to be a woman's face right here, but look at how they drew her. Her hair is designed in a way where that's 3 6s twirled all up in one. You got the one-eye symbolism up here, right? Y'all let me know if I'm missing something. Boom. What else we got here? We have, you see this dice right here? You have a 1, you have a 3, you have a 6. But the only side that's colored is the 6. You got this dice up here. How many dots do you see? 6. You got the butterfly effect up here. Butterflies are very synonymous. We've talked about this on the channel many times in the past when it comes to MK Ultra monarch athletes and celebrities, right? The butterfly effect up here. What else? We have, I gotta let it play out a little bit more so we can catch some of this other stuff. All right, this mask right here is supposed to be a transformer, right? Right? Well, right beside it is the eye, another one eye for the one eye symbolism. Look at below the transformer mask. You see the words trans. Why would they put that there instead of just spelling out the entire word? Why? This right here, maybe we'll get it from a different angle. This F right here spells out funk. We saw it in the, let me go back. All right, boom, you see it. Funk is right here. Why is the F once again the only thing that's colored? Because F is the 6th letter in the alphabet. Now, if anything, you should understand the significance. And man, I almost forgot this. This is one of the best parts. Root Boy, rather. Do you all know who Root Boy is? Root Boy is the leader of a band called Sex Change. And let me go to it. I pulled this up. Let's read this here. It says, this was my most flamboyant pal, Root Boy Slim, aka Foster McKenzie III. Look at the picture he's in, y'all. Aka Just Ken, as I knew him in the days before he adopted the moniker and cultivated the outrageous stage persona. Few people, apart from a large and very loyal fan base along the East Coast and in some musical circles, ever had the opportunity to see him. Mention his name today, and most people will wonder if you mean Fatboy Slim. He was a local DC area guy and my old familiar group therapy cohort, so he was in therapy. We met in about 1970 or so, both of us patients of the old group therapy center at 21st. But let's hop down. It says that he was there on court order. Here he is above, uncharacteristically upright during the show. Sometimes his shows ended with him flailing about on the floor, too incapacitated to stand, or simply passed out over some amplifier or drum kit or some piece of furniture in the bar or club. This pic was taken fairly early in his set, I think. Note the powdery looking nose. The outfit he's wearing is either a pair of overalls or a sundress. I forget which. He sometimes wear a red devil costume or a straight jacket. Yeah, true story. Let's see what else we can catch. All right. So we can get a better look at some of this stuff. We see Root Boy. We see what this demonic looking face here. I always figured there was something more to this baby, but I wasn't ever able to catch anything. Now, this is very important as well, guys. This is supposed to be his plane ticket, because remember, the theme song and the theme of the show is Will Smith got into a fight, one little fight, and my mom got scared and said, you're moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air. So she sent him off to live with his uncle. That's the story. That's the whole theme of the show, the basis of the show. Well, at the very beginning, if you remember, that he was spinning around in the chair. Lucifer, Satan, the devil, whether you choose to believe it or not, the idea of the devil is that he takes what's good, he takes what's God and what's for God, and he tries to flip it upside down. He reverses it. The plane ticket here is upside down, just like Will was upside down in the chair. He was spinning in the chair. His life got, what does it go? My life turned upside down. He literally says it in the song. That's the only reason that would make sense to me why they would show a plane ticket upside down. Like, this is Hollywood. If they're doing it for a reason, right? If you look right here to the right, the far left side of your screen, you got this W right here, this yellow W. W is what number in the alphabet? The number 23. Now, boom, here's a Greek statue up here to the far right side. A lot of you all probably didn't catch this, and I never caught this in my childhood. Those are actually two men behind Will Smith, looking very, very comfortable with each other. This is not against gay people. This is not against the LGBTQ community. The purpose of me mentioning this is because nothing about the show had anything to do with homosexuality, but they snuck it into the intro. They snuck it into the trailer. Why? If you're going to be open about it, be open about it. But instead, they snuck it behind him. Two men, so I'm going to bring it back. Two men back there, all good enough together. It was said before that this person right here is actually a transgender, which is why they have this almost cartoonish, oversized wig on their head. I don't know that to be true, and I won't claim it here. I'm just stating what I've heard other people say. You can decide for yourself. But this person right here, they said actually had a sex change in real life. It reminds me of the Biggie Smalls video, as we've talked about in the Martin Luther King documentary, and a couple other videos as well. We talked about this. It's very well known information that Biggie Smalls had a transgender in at least a couple of his videos, the same transgender, but they were pretending that this person was a woman in the video. Now this is Will stating that he's moving not necessarily to Bel Air, but to Hollywood. He's letting us know where he's on his way to. Boom. Fresh. What does fresh mean? I'm not even going to allude or give in to the people saying that fresh is another word for gay. I will say that fresh is another word for new on the scene. Fresh meat, fresh opportunity, fresh relationships. Will Smith is that fresh person on the scene in Hollywood. Boom. Now, what do we got here? We got the Masonic checkerboard flooring. Boom, patterns right here. And then if you look a little bit closer, and we'll get a better angle here coming up, but that is a 5 and a 1 up top. That equals 6. We got a 5 and a 1 below. That equals 6. You could have put any numbers there, but they put 1/5 of a mile on top of each other. Executive producers, Quincy Jones, Kevin Wendell. If you know, you know. Quincy Jones, who we've talked about many times on this channel, especially when it comes to Michael Jackson. We talked about him in our Michael Jackson video. Quincy Jones, it's been a long-standing rumor for many years that Quincy Jones and Will Smith had I want to say inappropriate, but if they're two consenting adults, then I guess you can call it what you want. But they had a very intimate relationship. Let's just put it that way. And he is the executive producer of this show. Quincy Jones, I believe, also executive produced or helped create Michael Jackson's Thriller album. Co-producers Benny Mendina. We'll get to that person here in a minute. As you all can see right here, this is 1/5. Y'all see that it's a 1 and a 5. So he's arrived. He got the pink little things dangling over his head as the taxi driver. I missed something. This is something else that a lot of people didn't catch. Because they're going to say, nah, man, he was saying that it stinked in the taxi. And yeah, sure. But I also think he was doing the one-eye symbolism right here. All right. Okay. So he's arrived. Now, Benny Mendina or Medina. If you don't know who this person is, I'm not trying to get sued or nothing like that. Everything I say in this video is alleged. These are just my observations. I'm 100% open to being wrong. This person, I'll just show you the photos. Let's just say I'm not the first person. It's been once again another long-running rumor that this person and Will Smith have been very close. We'll put it that way. That we're very close with each other. Very touchy-feely with each other in public. Now, this is him waiting to go in. The show was actually created by these two people, Andy Borowitz and Susan Borowitz or Boborowitz. These are two Jewish individuals who actually created the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which, again, I don't mind that you're Jewish. It's not that big of a deal to me. My point is, culture cannot be duplicated. It can't be replicated, right? That's one thing we know about culture. You can try to destroy culture, but you can't duplicate it. You can't fake culture. So if you're two Jewish individuals, my understanding they have a comedy background or comedic background, how do you know how to create a show that will appeal to the so-called black community? That's what I'm curious about. How? Because most of the black community will never be able to relate with the Cosby family from a financial perspective. They'll never be able to relate to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air lifestyle ever. Beverly Hills, I believe Bill Cosby was like this really wealthy doctor. Sure, those existed, but it was very rare in the black community. So I'm just curious who came up with it, right? There you have it. Now, a lot of people, you're gonna have your opinions. You're free today. You're free to hold whatever opinion you want. For me, these are some of the things that caught my eyes. And it's very easy to look at this and say, bro, none of it means anything, bro. Who cares? So what? Now what? Now that you pointed it out, now what? Now what? I'm trying to open our eyes to what they're doing because they play on the subliminal. It's not that we take this information, we get our picking forks and we go storming Hollywood and we want to unalive people. The point is, I'm trying to open your spiritual eyes so that you can understand the spiritual fight that we're in and the attacks. Because if you don't see the attacks, you don't know where they're coming from, you don't know how to protect yourself, right? Hop in the comment section, give me your thoughts. As always, hit that like button if you don't mind. I'm Demetrius. I go by Didi. Special shout out to all my Patreon and my channel members. You all mean the world to me. I really appreciate you. Until next time. Peace.